So now I'd like to invite messages for the collective. I'd like to take a moment and to see the condition that the collective is at right now. As we know, the world having this big crisis of COVID and it's taking effect of many people. And there might be other messages that are important to share today about ascension, about awakening. So is it appropriate to receive a message to share with the collective today?
Yes, things are heating up. Things are heating up. You already knew. We have been telling this for so long. Getting closer and closer to the epiphany of ascension, to the great day, to the great moment, to the great season. There's so many names for it. That day is approaching very fast. This year, December especially, is quite significant. A lot of materializations, manifestations of wishes. And it will be a battlefield of the wishes of light workers and the wishes of more immature energies. There will be a conflict because both will be manifested. Both will be manifest. It's going to be very strong manifestations. You will feel them. You will feel a lot of imposition of control over you, attempts to remove your free will. You will see that. But you will also see on the other side, or on the other hand, more and more light workers coming forward. A lot of children waking up. Twin flames coming together in union. So many things will happen. The light would get really bright and unified. Of course, the shadow will also unify, but those that are aware of the light and, observe how the light is being unified, they will be very happy to see such level of, unification, reunion, I would call. Soul tribes will get closer, identifying themselves. Twin flames will start to connect, and twin flames that rejected their twins or didn't recognize them as their twins, they will now recognize. A lot of things will happen, and those unions happening here and there will create a strong light foundation that will, will shine bright above the shadow. And that is huge. That is a huge wave of transformation, huge, massive awakening happening. Huge. It's like, imagine a fire, very strong fire, very strong wind, and the fire is burning over dry weed. You know how the fire can spread fast?
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be like that. A lot of weeds will burn and will join the fire. Very beautiful.
Mm.
And you don't be afraid of what's coming, COVID and a lot of economic collapse. It's going to be hard, yes. It's not the scenario you would like to have, for sure. But the necessary hardship
It what hardship?
for what is coming. It's a necessary hardship. It's a necessary setback.
Yeah.
So you can enjoy the result of it.
Mm.
You know, we say these all, so many times in so many different ways. There is no light without darkness. There is no love without hate. There is no awakening without being asleep. Everything you wish for that is beautiful and joyful will come to you, but it will come with its counterpart, with its twin. You have to be able to accept both equally. So many prayers for awakening, so many prayers for the light of the world to shine brighter. But then COVID comes, oh, everything comes with its twin. Don't worry about it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for this beautiful message. Is there anything else you would want to share today before we depart?
Yes, I want to share with Sila and perhaps those out there that will listen to this message and that are going through the twin flame journey, the twin flame separation. It's one of the hardest challenges for you guys. We know that twin flames, or the way you want to call it, we don't call it this way. It's okay.
How do you call it? Does it have another names to be? Or
No, it's just soul. It's just a soul. It's just translating to you. It's just soul, because even if you split a soul, the souls still have the same size, the same power.
Mm-hmm. So the experience, just so it be clear, you refer when a soul being split into some parts and those parts are becoming some beings that are in aspects living together at the same time, and then when they meet, those aspects of the same soul are creating some relationship, living together. They can marry, they can be children, they can be different things, but it's the same soul having an experience together.
yes, they should meet, they should interact. They don't necessarily need to be in a romance.
Yeah.
Just to give you an idea, so the story of twin flames, it's a archetype, or it's a holographic event of what happened to all of you. If you think about source, and then if you think about you and Sila and everybody, that separation existed from source to begin with.
Yeah.
So you are twin flames of source.
Mm.
You earn to go back to source. You know, you admire source. You love source. You pray to source. Source is the greatest. But what you're seeing in source, it's in yourself. Because you are source. See?
Yeah.
Separation, but not separate, you see. Twin flames, and this is the level of challenge, the greatest challenge of all, that separation or illusion of separation from source.
Yeah.
And then you have another example from another holographic example, which is what you all face, which is the departure of a loved one. Again, you are faced with the illusion of separation. Twin flames, when they find each other, is not by accident. The soul vibrates and is always looking for the other part. It's vibrating in the hope to find the other parts. As long as they vibrate different, they can't meet. But when they vibrate the same frequency, then they meet. And when the soul becomes unified, the soul does not want to separate again. That's why when the twin flames, because of the ego, against the will of the soul, they separate. And that causes great pain, great grief, because it's the same emotion as being separated by source.
Mm.
Great pain is greater than any other pain you may face with any other loved one.
Mm.
It's the feeling of death without nobody dying. But the feeling is as if it was death.
Yeah.
It's not natural.
Mm.
It feels very unnatural.
Mm.
We want to say this to the collective because we know, we are aware of what's going on. And we do know that many of you are definitely in separation with your twins, better say with your counterparts. We want you to know this. First of all, that accept your pain, because it's a pain that needs to be accepted, needs to be welcomed. The same way the love for a twin flame is not comparable to the love felt with another human. Of course, the grief, it's also the greatest. So it's part of the process, it's part of the duality, it's part of the polarity that allows this world to exist, that allows vibrations to happen. Polarities are required, otherwise it wouldn't be possible to create this creation. Very important to welcome this pain, accept it, become one with it, appreciate it, because of that pain, you can then experience this great love. Because everything is relative. Good is only good because it's compared to evil. Love is only good because it's compared to another emotion. The beauty of love of twin flames is beautiful. It's understood as beautiful because of the level of grief that it causes. So accept the pain, don't fight against it, don't run away from it. Don't run away from it. Take your time. Take your time alone, yes. If you need to create some distance, do that. But don't fight against the pain. Don't refuse the pain. Don't say, I don't want this because it's too painful, or because it's too good, or for whatever reason. Accept it slowly, but accept it. Because there's no escape to it. It's done. If you have a twin flame, it will chase you until it finds you, because all cannot be splitted. It's unnatural. Cannot.
What is it?
The
Cannot be
soul will
splitted?
search the time. It cannot stand it.
Mm-hmm.
It can be done, it is done, but it cannot stand it. It will fight for union. It will do whatever it takes to unify. If you have a twin in this 3D reality, don't even bother to run away, because your soul will chase you until it finds you. It's better to deal with it, to face it, to welcome it. Because the pain of running away, it's far worse than the pain to face it. It's, if you run away, there's no rest, there's no peace.
Yeah.
There's no peace.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing you would do after that could produce any fruits. You will be bitter. You become bitter with time. Restless. That's an advice to the collective for those who identify their twins or are rejecting their twins or are running away from it or are trying to unify with it and are whatever situation. Keep those words in mind. It's a necessary grief. It's part of the union process. It's a great understanding of how separation from source would feel like. It's a great lesson. It's beautiful lesson to be able to experience this holographic image of pure love. So don't waste this opportunity, and don't waste the power produced by the union of these souls, because these souls are very powerful. It's very powerful. If completely unified and completely working together in harmony, those souls are extremely powerful. They can manifest anything. They can heal anyone. It's very powerful. So don't waste it, because the level of awakening that you will face shortly will require this. Will require that you know these things. You can't allow that the shadow evolved so rapidly, or more rapidly than, the light. You see, then you'll have diseases that you cannot cure. Then you'll have a virus that you don't know what to do with it, and so forth. So this 3D will always change, will always move forward, will never stop. So it's important that the light is evolving at least at the same speed as the shadow, Otherwise, everything that comes from the shadow will not see its counterpart, and then the world will be without balance, and then Earth has to interfere to create balance again, and it's a mess. And we just want to, share with you this information. Of course, it's not the twin flames' fault if, the world is unbalanced. That's not what we are trying to say. But there is a great power in these unions, not just twin flames, but soul tribes, soul tribes, souls that share the same talents, the same skills, the same wishes and desires, the same vision. Soul tribes are also unifying, and that's also important, very important. You see?
Yeah. Wonderful, beautiful. Thank you so much for this wonderful information. Do you want to share anything else before we depart?
Yes, don't we can see already that it was very successful what happened with COVID. The power of that fear didn't last long.
Did not last long?
No, did not last long.
Very good.
The intervention from the light workers were very, very successful, because many people in fear, they stopped being in fear. What the top of the pyramid intended to do, they couldn't do it. So it was very successful. But yet be aware that the plans behind the first wave of COVID were not accomplished. But that doesn't mean that there isn't a plan B. So don't stop doing your work just because it was successful, but instead keep your eyes wide open, because more would come, more attempts would come. Different approach this time, but it will come. And it will come in a more hidden way, in a secret way. May not be so detected this time. So keep doing your work, actively growing, actively awakening and expanding, and inviting more and more of your brothers and sisters to join you. You know, when the quality sometimes is not too good, quantity can help, you know. So
What do
if
you
you
mean by
feel
that?
like not many, if you feel like you're not, we say this because we receive this energy from many of you. They don't feel awakened enough. They complain they are not awakened enough. They complain they should be in a higher level than the one they are. So this is an issue of quality, you see. They are putting tags on the quality of the level of awareness, the level of, you know, evolution. What we want to say, if that's the way it's felt, then instead of worrying with the quality of your progress, of your growth, then join forces, invite others, and go for the quantity, because battles is not only, you know, won by great soldiers. A lot of soldiers together that are not so good, they can also win the battle, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, time, you know, moaning and complaining, and I should have been this, I should have been there, I should have been doing this. Because this is not a personal battle, you know. This is a both personal and collective.
Yeah.
So if you focus on personal, me, what about the collective?
Yeah.
So keep moving, act fast, join forces, and yes, and
Good.
you improve your quality this way. The more of you share skills between you, the better the quality of each one of you, right?
Wonderful. Thank you. That's really beautiful. Is there anything else, anything particular about that you want to share, or anything more before I bring her up?
You will be now confronted with the lesson of, if we need to put a title on it, and the beauty of
Can you repeat
union.
that, just because I couldn't hear the lesson of?
The importance and the beauty of union. Now to be able to face the new stage, union will be vital. Being alone, standing alone, it's not the way to go. The purpose of what's coming is to recognize the importance of the other. Couples wanting to separate, they won't be able to. Again, twin flames coming together in union. Family members dismissing each other, arguing, that won't be possible. But for that conclusion to come, first you have a lot of tension in those unions. So they can come to the conclusion that they are better together than separate. And that will apply to whole nature, every single relationship style that exists. Mother with children, neighbors, boss and employee, every type of relationship you can think of will be shaken. So, the transformation required can be indeed manifested. Because the new word that you all talk about and is urging to meet, it's a place that is conquered. It's a place that is designed by the energies. It's not a Picasso product,
Mm-hmm.
It's a collective creation. It's a collective manifestation of the ideal interaction between humans and humans, with nature and the universe. That ideal is what is the new earth. But you don't just jump from where you are to the new earth, because where is the part of the new earth with your energy so you can be there? If your energy, your imprint, your fingerprints are not there, you have no place to be there. You have to take part in this common project. You have a role to play, and you have to put an effort. And this new phase, this new stage of game of new earth, let's call it this way, this part of the energy of the new earth that you are now creating, let's call it even better this way, is union, is teamwork, is the recognition that I'm better with you than alone. I'm stronger than you. I'm stronger with you than by myself. So let's do it together then. Let's join forces. That's the lesson that is coming. You have been already facing, tasting the, how you say it? When you go to a restaurant and a starter. Yeah, you already had a starter for this meal.
Yeah.
Marriage is collapsing, this kind of stuff that you all are familiar with it. But it will grow. It will grow. Those things will fail even more, but cannot be sustainable. Because couples could separate. Because everybody could be independent, right? There is jobs for everybody. There is everything for everybody to be independent. The problem now is it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. The arguments will be there, but the possibility to split will not be there. They will be forced to remain in union. And that's when they find out, oh, we are better like this after all. You see how it works?
Yeah.
You have a little bit of shadow, but it's already bringing some light. That's how it goes.
Beautiful. Thank you for this information. It's really helpful.
You will notice this evolving. It will be very clearly, very clearly. Relationships are now going to change dramatically.
Very exciting. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Do you have final words or are we complete?
We are complete from our side.
Thank you so much.